Welcome back. It's Kelly from joyfullyparenting.com, and it's fantastic you're here in our final lesson of this mini parenting course, Tame Your Strong-Willed Child's Tantrums. Today, I want to speak with you about the final step that can make or break the overall sense of peace in your home. It's what determines how close you feel to your child and them to you. It'll also help support you create positive tantrum outcomes, inspiring your child to learn from their mistakes, self-regulate, and listen to you over time. While it's not an instantaneous cure, it's the fastest way to raise a child who's spirited, but also respectful and responsible. Basically, if I had a magic wand, this is the one thing I'd give all parents who regularly face stubborn child behavior, from loud temper tantrums and defiance to quiet pouting and everything in between. Now, we've already covered a lot of child tantrum ground in the first 3 videos. By now, you ought to have the BACS acronym down. This is perfect to use in the heat of the moment so you can better course correct and more effectively curb meltdowns. The beauty is that when used over time, it'll support your child to learn from their mistakes, hone their self-regulation skills, and have less child tantrums moving forward. If you haven't yet watched the previous videos, take this as my invitation to you to do that now. At the very least, make sure you download the Child Tantrum Tamer Checklist. You'll find this in your welcome in the course email from me. The dedicated moms I work with are smart, yet they often aren't as consistent with their parenting. Some are on a different page from their spouse or bop from one parenting tip to another. Often they come to me frustrated that a parenting tip that used to work no longer does. Many parents find things like sticker charts, a stern word, punishments, taking away privileges, allowances, rewards, or timeouts work with one child, but annoyingly fail flat with another. Occasionally, they're simply missing important parenting subtleties, but most of the time, they're missing one major thing. Originally, I was too. So nod your head if you've ever felt like one of these kids. This is a picture of my uncle, aunt, and mom back in 1958, building their prized playhouse. Cute, hey? Yet even though they're hardworking and resourceful, you wouldn't call them home building experts. Sorry, Uncle Aunts. While a great playhouse, it's not a permanent house. If you're an adventurous camper, you could make it work for a night, maybe 2. But if you're a glamping gal or one who prefers 5-star room service, one night could be painful. In the morning, after little sleep with your kid's elbow in your ribs, it's not the big bad wolf who may show up, but maybe your alter ego monster mom. True or true? When someone gets hungry or needs to use the non-existent bathroom, one begins to see its limitations. When it gets cold or a storm blows in, this house won't cut it, just like the 2 little pigs who discovered that both straw and wood aren't sustainable. You see, when it comes to successful parenting, love, passion, effort, even the greatest parenting tips isn't enough. This is especially true for strong-willed children whose superpower is uncovering child discipline loopholes. The biggest parenting secret sauce I've found to confidently parent a strong-willed child is a kick-A, kick-awesome parenting plan. This includes specific steps to follow and return to when you forget your wisdom, or when your spirited child tests you in a whole new way. So let me give it to you now. The Smart Mom Path has 3 main steps to get in place if you want to move from angry and frustrated parenting to make joyfully parenting your default. So let's begin with the end in mind. It's actually the 3rd step, luminous parenting, that most parents desire. This is where you tackle child discipline head on, but in a way that doesn't squash a child's spirit and doesn't inadvertently create greater hurt, pushback, and fighting. If you can't stand the thought of using discipline in a way that spanks the spirit out of your child, but also know you don't want to unintentionally raise a spoiled child or rude child, then this is a must. Think of this step like the electrical in your dream house that powers up your allowances. Biology boosters, the 2nd step on your Smart Mom path, are the walls and roof, while the love foundation is the foundation, the floor. Yet here's the kicker. You can't confidently and sustainably discipline while maintaining a loving relationship without having the first 2 steps solidly in place. All the great child discipline tools like top-end appliances won't do you much good if you don't have a foundation under them and a roof over them. That would be like moving a brand new Melee dishwasher into that playhouse. With no outlets, it would be useless. That's why all smart moms first need to get their love foundation in place. And love for me stands for living our values every day. It's key to transforming mom powerlessness into mom hopefulness. It means moving from feeling frustrated and out of control to confidently turning the unhappy parts of parenting around, making sure you're not blindly recreating the unhappy parts of your own childhood. Without this step, you'll feel pulled in a gazillion directions. Often moms find their inner monster mom gets triggered and they worry they aren't being the mom their child really deserves. The reason this is such an important step, by the way, one that's entirely forgotten by the vast majority of parenting experts and parenting philosophies, is that our constant world of distractions, when left unchecked, can pull us away from living our best life. So next, you need to have your family's biology boosters in place so you can support your child to move away from anger and anxiety to being a more agreeable and relaxed kid. There are 5 biology boosters in total, which include healthy self-esteem and ensuring bedtimes are easy peasy. Mom Margaret resonated most with the sleep biology booster and said, "Bedtimes have gone from gong show to a breeze. As the primary breadwinner, it's been a game changer for me. We have a lovely routine now in place where we all sleep through the night, finally. This is huge and enables me to wake feeling rested so I can work effectively. Not only am I getting quality time to myself to recharge every day, but we're also getting tons of beautiful quality family time together. Everyone wins. I love that." What you need to know is that the Smart Mom path doesn't support hard-handed parenting that doesn't allow you to be you nor your kids to be themselves. It's got nothing to do with spanking, screaming, grounding, begging, or using empty threats. It's about freedom. It's about finally becoming the contractor of your best life, building your home sweet home on a foundation of what truly matters to you, so you can ensure Monster Mom doesn't move into your home for good. Now, please remember, the Smart Mom path is not just a nice theory that doesn't work in the real world. It's for real moms who've got real responsibilities and real problems. This is exactly the same path I've used, the very same step my Smart Mom clients use that's positively transformed strong-willed child pushback. Specifically, I used this to take 2 defiant boys many predicted would end up in juvie or delinquent center and empower them with practical life tools so they could go out into the world with confidence. I'm proud to say both graduated from university. The eldest even graduated law school. Frankly, I believe it's in part because he spent so many years practicing his compelling arguments on me. But seriously. So what's this really about? In a nutshell, it's about getting a customizable plan into your hands that supports you in being the best mother you can be so you can confidently raise a child you're proud of, but without the exhaustion, frustration, and guilt. It's ultimately about having a rock-solid relationship with your child who's spirited, but also respectful. We're in an amazing and sometimes scary time in history right now. When I get overwhelmed and feel scared for our next generation, I remember what Mother Teresa said. If you want to change the world, go home and love your family. The trouble is, loving a spirited child can be downright hard, can feel impossible sometimes. Also, no one taught us how to match our parenting with our values so we can own our parenting. Now, you may have already tried a lot of things, spoken to a lot of experts, and read heaps of parenting books. And I'm not 100% sure of all the reasons you showed up today. Maybe you feel guilty for losing it and nagging so much. Could be you're at the end of your mom patience rope, super frustrated by chronic meltdowns and fights. It might be you're overwhelmed, or maybe you feel embarrassed or ashamed by your child's rude behavior. Perhaps you're worried there'll be permanent damage to your relationship. It's possible you're concerned your child won't make it in this demanding and ever-changing world. Ever wonder if you're own triggers and difficult childhood is negatively impacting them. Whatever your reason, I really hope you get what you need. I've discovered and developed through over 2 decades of parenting hard knocks the Smart Mom Path, which is a fully customizable family calming reboot system. Having the courage and commitment to work this system has forever changed my life. It's allowed me to speak to millions of parents, show up as my confident mom best, and discipline in a way I feel great about. It's also enabled me to finally get a balanced family life down, something I've struggled with much of my adult life. The fact is, you can do this too, because it's a simple paint-by-number process. So remember how at the beginning of the course, I said I believe temper tantrums are a dedicated mom's greatest gift? The reason I believe this is that when dedicated moms use their parenting challenges as a catalyst for meaningful change, loving families are the result. I've repeatedly seen how exhausting tantrums and fights become the fuel that propels moms to take significant action, the one that makes all the difference. So the obvious question is, what next step will you take? You've got a choice, and it's a big one. You get to decide if you want to continue using trial and error and some of what you've learned here today to duct tape things together. Hopefully, you'll see some positive change. Or you can do this likely more quickly by having me become your joyfully parenting contractor. Many people don't know that Albert Einstein said, everything in life should be as simple as possible, but not simpler. I've seen so many awesome moms, often covering people pleasers like me, lose their cool or confidence simply because they aren't using a parenting philosophy that provides them with that customizable plan. I promise you that if you really try this approach, if you work with me, it can positively change your life forever. And I'd love to provide this to you, especially if you know your parenting toolbox needs a bit of rounding out. So I invite you to book a Parenting Power Hour session with me. It's a 1-hour intensive consultation process where we dive deep into one parenting problem you're struggling with right now, while also mapping out a customized Smart Mom plan for you. This helps to do a few things. First, it helps you stop wasting your time by gaining insight into the real issue behind the problem. It also helps you stop wasting your money with experts who don't get to the root cause, your unique root cause. It helps you say goodbye to family tension and say hello to the relief that comes from knowing your next best step, so you can finally have a respectful relationship that doesn't exhaust you so much. All you need to do is click the button to book your spot. What's the investment, you may wonder? $97, less than a month of piano lessons, this season's latest runners, or a fancy dinner out. In my mission to support as many moms possible, I offer this introductory session at what I hope is a no-brainer price point. We'll use the fully customizable Smart Mom Path to strengthen your unique mom superpowers so you don't get trapped by spirited child pushback. You'll also receive a simple set of Parenting Power Hour questions so you can get the most out of our time together. Plus, I offer a 100% guarantee. If you fully show up but don't feel your Parenting Power Hour rocked and was totally worth your time and money, I'll provide a full refund. So if you're ready to discover the real source of your parenting issue so you can stop wasting weeks, months, maybe years struggling, book your Parenting Power Hour today. I look forward to supporting you with your personalized, joyfully parenting turnaround. So now I come to the most important question in this entire parenting course. What are you going to do with this information? You see, parenting tips alone have little power. Only when you take action and make the tips your own does true power take shape. It's the smart moms who nail down the essentials that allow them to ride the strong-willed child waves so they don't have to go back over and over again attempting to fix them. I'd love to help you do just this. If you're inspired to make a positive parenting change, just click on the link. And until we meet again, may you have the courage to be the mother your child deserves, and remember just how precious you are.